Monday Night Raw hot takes. You've got them, and I want them, baby. This is a new weekly series where I ask you guys over on Twitter or X your hot takes immediately after Monday Night Raw. So if you want your hot take to be featured in a future episode, follow me on Twitter or X, whatever we're calling it these days. You can definitely find my social links down below in the description of this video. And while you're down there, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you don't miss another video. Because if you miss this one, I don't know what to tell you. All right, you're subscribed and you followed me on Twitter now. Let us begin, because you guys had a lot to say about this Monday Night Raw and the Evolution build so far. So let's get into it, because y'all popped off. Evolution 2 is feeling like a here, damn pay-per-view, and I hate that it is. First one was special because it had big marquee matches. This one feels so rushed. Because it is rushed. That's why. The first Evolution felt special because it was special. It was the first all-women's pay-per-view within WWE. Not within the professional wrestling industry, but with WWE, yes. And so I think because it's the first one, it's always going to be special. With Evolution 2, we have more expectations, and they're not exactly meeting it. And yeah, there were big marquee matches because, you know, Ronda Rousey was a part of it. So it's like, who could they bring back now that's a huge name that's not Ronda Rousey to be a part of the show? I don't think it's so much more of bringing someone in rather than continuing to build on big names that are already in the division. And let's face it, RHEA is the biggest name within the women's division. So I agree. It does feel rushed. Absolutely. Lyra versus Bayley versus Becky is going to steal the show, especially after that badass brawl these two had. 100% agree. And let me just say this. Lyra has found her footing on the main roster now because of her feud with Becky. I think Lyra having the feud with Becky, losing the IC title, definitely put a little spunk in her character for me. It lit a fire under her ass. And so it definitely helps that someone that's brand new within the main roster is working with veterans at this point. Bayley and Becky Lynch are veterans. They're still part of the, division. They're not legends yet, but they're veterans. And so for someone like Lyra coming from NXT, it definitely helps for her to work with these two individuals. And it does feel like she's finally finding her character a little bit. She's finding herself a little bit within this feud. And I absolutely agree. I think it's going to steal the show. And I think this is a really, really, really good match for Lyra. I think this is a really great feud for her. And this could potentially launch her off to something bigger after Evolution. 100% agree. The build to WWE Evolution is shaping up strong with a solid mix of star power and stakes. IYO Sky and Rhea Ripley for Women's World Championship. Battle Royal adds intrigue with its high stakes for title match in Paris, spotlighting multiple tag teams. Finally, women's IC title will be amazing. Some positivity when it comes to Evolution, and I agree, because that's the thing, and that's the sad thing with women's wrestling, is that whoever's booking the shows, for as long as they have, for decades upon decades upon decades, they have always given the women this much to work with, little to nothing to work with. And what do the women do? They always shine. They always sometimes outshine the men on the card with a lackluster build. I mean, we kind of saw it this year at WrestleMania with Bianca Belair, IYO Sky, and Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. Because guess what? What was the match of the weekend? It was that match. It was that triple threat match. And the build wasn't great, but that has been the history throughout women's wrestling for a really long time. They just are given nothing and they still do an amazing job. And that's the thing about Evolution that's a little disheartening. They're still going to kill it no matter what. But if they were given the proper care for this PLE that all of their male counterparts have, maybe this would have been a little bit more exciting, but it just feels exciting because it's like, oh wow, all of the women are going to be on one show and no men. Isn't that great? It's like, yeah, it is good, but give us more. But it's still going to be good. The show is still going to be great. They're fantastic. The women are fantastic. The matches are going to be good no matter what. And it's high stakes and it's exciting. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the Battle Royal could be an opportunity to have big moments. I mean, there's a lot of great opportunity to have big moments throughout the show, but it's still going to be amazing. I think we still should go in positive because these women are getting this platform again for the first time in 7 years? Kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous that it's been 7 years. Actually, now that I think about it, I started this YouTube channel 7 years ago. And I went to Evolution in 2018. So the fact that it's 7 years later and I'm discussing Evolution and saying it's the second, only the second, 7 years later is a little wild. It feels a little egregious, maybe. I don't know, but I don't like it. It has come across forced. It doesn't feel like a culmination or a celebration of how far the women have come since the last Evolution. Also, it will be the 8th show in 13 straight days if we include the TNA/NXT partnership in that 2-week period. Yeah, there's a lot of wrestling happening within the next 2 weeks, isn't it? I mean, it's great that we're getting so much wrestling, but it doesn't feel like a celebration of how far the women have come since the last Revolution. It almost feels like a copy and paste of the celebration of how far the women have come with what they used at Evolution, right? Because again, that was the first one. So it's like, oh my gosh, like women main eventing is crazy. It's so unheard of. And this is before the first women's main event at WrestleMania. Now, the women have main evented like non-stop. Pay-per-views, WrestleManias, and it's great. But what is the purpose for this PLE, for this Evolution? It feels like if we're going to do an Evolution, this should have been the 7th one. We should have had this every single year with the women. It sucks. They don't seem to care that much and putting little effort into it, but IYO, RHEA, and Bianca, Bayley, and Lyra should rock and save it. I definitely think that they will save it. There's other matches that they could possibly save it as well. You know, like Julia is United States champion right now. That could definitely save it. I believe there is an NXT Women's Championship match happening in Evolution that could possibly save it. I mean, that's the thing. The women are going to do good. These are great matches. I mean, IYO and RHEA, the build from what we saw of them coming out, opening the show and being like, hey, we're going to have a match with each other. All right, sick. See you later. Bye. And like, that was like, okay. At least Becky, Bayley, and Lyra has like a little bit of history. Not to say that IYO and RHEA doesn't, but at least that's a little bit of a continuation, especially with the bad blood that Bayley probably has still from WrestleMania. Like, I'm a little more interested in Bayley's contribution with this triple threat for the IC title a little bit more than IYO and RHEA. Although IYO Sky and RHEA, I mean, hello, they can wrestle forever in front of me all the time. Jeez, just right there. They don't even need a ring. The Judgment Day is a definite top 10 WWE stable of all time. After this tag title victory, and honestly, I'm ready to call them top 5. The Judgment Day? Top 10 WWE? Top 10? You kind of had me there. Top 5? I don't know if I would say top 5. I mean, honestly, you might not be wrong, especially with what's currently going on. I would say if we're doing a ranking list, like Judgment Day is definitely like A tier. I wouldn't necessarily say S tier, but A tier for sure, which A tier is not top 5 for me. You're like number 7 and they're number 7 for me. Probably. I personally think that Damage Control is better than Judgment Day. It's a hot take. What do you want me to say? You know, it's a hot take. I can deliver my own hot takes. And if it makes you mad, that's okay. Maybe you should subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notifications and let me know in the comments below how wrong I am. Some of the matches will be great, but it still feels like they're doing it because the fans keep asking them rather than them actually wanting it to. And this is the one time that they're actually going to listen to the fans. And they're like, yeah, no worries. We listen to you. Here you go. Like, yeah, but not like this. But then it feels like we're ungrateful and we're fickle. And it's like, oh, you guys wanted an evolution, but you don't want it like this. It's like, yeah, no, I don't want it like that. Like, I want WrestleMania. but I don't want 2 nights. I want a WrestleMania, but I want a Sunday as well. So it's like, I want an Evolution, but I want you to care. Give a shit. One, while I think the matches themselves will be at a minimum good, the entire show feels forced and in a here you go, now stop bringing it up kind of way. I don't think any titles are truly changing hands on the show. That I disagree with. I do think that titles are going to change. There is the NXT Women's Championship with JC Jane and Jordynne Grace. I think it's about time we finally give that title to Jordynne Grace. I mean, look at her. Look at her. Coming out looking like Patrick Starr. How are you not going to give a title to her? Are you joking? Jordynne Grace is definitely going to win the NXT Championship. I think that's definitely a title that's going to change hands. Other than that, possibly Rhea winning the Women's World Championship. Tag titles could possibly change hands. Who's to say? The Liv injury ruined everything. That's wild. Listen, she's catching strays in the hospital bed. That's insane. She's catching strays while she's doing PT. That's insane. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think the injury ruined everything. Like, did it ruin plans? Did it put like a wrench in the gear when it came to plans that were supposed to move forward when it came to Liv and Raquel with the tag titles? Possibly. I think it's wild to say that an injury ruined everything. I mean, Liv Morgan was going to be on the entire Evolution card, my guy. She wasn't wrestling in every match, but I definitely think it kind of put things at a halt when it came to the tag titles. Now, we are getting a fatal 4-way when it comes to the tag titles. There's a team from Raw and a team from SmackDown and a team for NXT. It seemed like they were heading down the road of possibly bringing back the Bellas for the tag match, but then Liv got injured. I don't understand why they just don't do it anyway. Like, you're bringing back legends, and that's what we want. We would love to see legends back, especially like having the Bellas come back for the second Evolution after main eventing the first one would be cool. But also, you are giving your legends their flowers by bringing them back to the show, right? That's what you do with The Undertaker. That's what you do with The Rock. That's what you do with Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what you do with freaking Scott Steiner, whoever. Like, that's what you do with all of the men. So why not the women? If the women are able to compete in the ring and they're healthy, why not give them a match? I mean, you do have that partnership with TNA and the Iconics are right there. Actually, the last time those tag titles felt important to me was when the Iconics won it back at WrestleMania 35. So maybe you should bring it back to them. That would be iconic. After the Bayley versus Becky versus Lyra feud, one of them should move on to feud with IYO. IYO desperately needs a dancing partner, and one of these women can fill those shoes. My pick is Lyra. I absolutely agree with your pick. I think Lyra would be really good. And like I said before, I think Lyra is finally finding her footing, her placement on the main roster, working with Bayley and Becky. And I think after having that feud with them, maybe they need one more match after Evolution, but I think after having that feud with them, she can move on and have a title match with IYO, or maybe even Rhea Ripley, possibly, if she wins it. But I definitely agree with your pick. The build feels like they don't really give a fuck about it. No, it feels lazy. You know what? This whole build is going to make me turn to Chelsea Green, honestly. I want to speak to your manager. I want to speak to Nick Aldis, especially. And I have a bone to pick with him. And Adam Pearce, oh my God, don't even get me started on him. I have a bone to pick. Care. Put some effort, you bookers. I'm sure you guys are lovely, but still, they're only doing Evolution 2 to shut the fans up about it and to try and outdo AEW. It feels very rushed and unfair to a lot of the female talent, using multi-women matches just to seem like they actually care about the women, but they're waiting for it to potentially fail. Jennifer. I'm about to call you Jennifer's body because you're putting these people in a body bag with your tweet because you are not wrong. You are not wrong. That's exactly how it feels. Let me get on my soapbox real quick. Actually, let me get on your soapbox, Jennifer. Make some room, because I'm about to pop off with you, girl, okay? This is what I don't understand. Why All In Weekend? Why All In Weekend? It feels so dumb to go head-to-head competition. And I get that it's like, oh, that's how it was in the Attitude Era. Oh, that's how it was with WCW. We love competition. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, like, this isn't it, though. You could have had this show any other weekend besides next weekend for All In. You could have had it at any point. And what I think, a little theory that I have, is AEW consistently has criticism that they are not taking care of their women's division. And it's not to say that WWE is doing better. I don't fucking think so at all, especially with this build with Evolution. But because AEW has that criticism about their women's division, and they possibly are going to have the biggest women's match that they've had so far with Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm, two former WWE talents, it feels like WWE is taking a jab at AEW in terms of like, haha, look at us. We do our women's division so much better than you do. So much better, in fact, that we are going to do a all women's pay-per-view the same weekend that you have one of your biggest pay-per-views of the year. And we're going to do it better. And all the fans are like, well, yeah, WWE, how are you going to do it better? We're doing it a different day than All In. Yeah, when's the day? The next day. What's the build? I don't know, but it's a week away. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, what are we doing? That's exactly how it feels. It feels like WWE is trying to take a jab at AEW, like, haha, we do it better over here. And the rest of us, like the fans, are like, actually, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. Like, it sucks. It sucks to feel that way. And especially, like, for me, honestly, fuck the tribalism. I can't stand the tribalism. I honestly can't. If there's good wrestling on, no matter where it is, I'm gonna watch it. Doesn't matter if it's AEW, doesn't matter if it's WWE, if it's TNA, if it's CMLL, if it's AAA, if it's Stardom, if it's TJPW, if it's GCW, if it's West Coast Pro, if it's Prestige Wrestling, if it's DPW, if it's Ice Ribbon, if it's Marigold, if it's anything in between, really, it doesn't matter. If it's good wrestling, I am going to watch it. And it just is so dumb for WWE to have this show, Evolution, in which they claim to care about women's wrestling. They care about it so much that they've waited 7 fucking years to put on a all women's pay-per-view again, with no intention of actually putting on a strong show. The only reason why Evolution is going to be strong is because they have strong talent on their roster that they consistently overlook. Try not to be doom and gloom about RHEA versus IYO. They're gonna kill it in that match. My main gripe is just the lack of opponents any champions are facing, and as a result, their booking feels lazy and stale. It does. And again, that Monday Night Raw was just weird. Like, for them to open it up and Rhea's like, I'm here, it's Monday Night Mommy, and IYO comes out and she's like, yeah, I choose you. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, even in the in-ring promo, they could have talked about their history together in NXT. Bring up the NXT. It feels like Evolution with the build, especially for IYO and RHEA, it feels like it's going to be heavily relied on the video package than what we watch in the next, I don't know, week. We'll see. They should bring the Iconics back for the show. 100% agree. They're on TNA. Like, there's not much negotiating. You just go next door. Go next door and be like, knock on TNA's door. Hey, hello, we need the Iconics. I wouldn't want to see the Iconics come back at the Battle Royal as a surprise. I would not like that, even though their role back at the first Evolution during the Battle Royal when they opened it up and they were just roasting everybody on the mic was fantastic. Always put a microphone in the hands of the Iconics. I would love to see them in that tag match, though. That main event tag match was the best Raw main event of 2025. It was a really good tag. It was such a good tag. Anytime you're gonna team Sami Zayn and Penta, my heart is there. It was a really good tag. Best Raw main event of 2025? I'm gonna have to go back to the tapes. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the other main events, but we shall put a pin on this tag match when we start discussing like best matches or best Raw matches of 2025. We'll definitely have to put a pin on that. And there you have it, folks. Those were your hot takes for this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Now, if you want your hot takes to be featured in a future episode, please follow me on X at Queen of the Ring with 2 G's. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.